but we know the sin that entangles us. We know that we sin. So how can we be holy day by day? And the answer is by turning to our champion, to our advocate, who's completely qualified to be our advocate. Nobody else is. Jesus has all the qualifications legally to be our advocate. We understand it a bit, don't we, in sort of relationships that we have. We might have all stood up for somebody else or represented somebody else, perhaps in a work situation. You've taken to some sort of tribunal or some character reference or something like that. We've often stood for people. My brother and I have what's called lasting power of attorney for my dad, so that when he can't make decisions for himself, which sadly is becoming more and more, my brother and I make those decisions for him. We try to represent what we think is best for him and what he would like. We don't do it completely properly, I'm sure. We don't know him like Jesus knows us. We've actually also given power of attorney to our own children, and we have to put up with every time they come and visit that they look at each other and say, ooh, time to invoke power of attorney, I think. So you have to be a little, there's a little bit of fear in this power of attorney lark. But Jesus is the perfect power of attorney. We see legal representation so often in our news, don't we? Royalty at the moment, tennis at the moment, Parliament at the moment. And so often we don't see actual truth in it. We see mitigation. We see excuses. We see reasons. We see legal loopholes. We minimize. We excuse. We try to explain. Now, another word from the Old Testament and in the Bible, along with the other word that I'm not going to say anymore, is justification. And that's what we are when Jesus has died for us. We're justified before God. And so often in the things that we see and hear and the things we do, we see self-justification. And they are so very different. But Christ is our legal advocate. And he doesn't wear a curly wig. He wears a crown of thorns. And that's part of his qualification for standing up before God in our place. And he does stand in our place. You may not even have to appear in court. You might not have to say anything. You're not regarded. You're not seen. You're not heard. Jesus is heard. Jesus is seen. Jesus is our advocate. It's the advocate that's looked upon. And is Jesus there to persuade God to sway his judgment? Is Jesus saying, oh, let Catherine off this time, just let her off this time? But at what point in that situation did God say, well, she seems to be cropping up quite a lot in this area, and my patience is running out? Jesus isn't using persuasion or smooth words or emotive pleading or excuses or character references. He's actually using the law that God set about sacrifice. And I've got a lovely quote from Tim Keller, which he says Jesus before the Father might be something like this. And I've put my name in. Tim Keller didn't use my name because I don't know Tim Keller, sadly. But this is what it might be, something that Jesus might say. Father, yes, Catherine did do it again, but I've died the death she should have died. I'm her advocate. She is lost in me. When you look at her, you have to see me. You have to see all that I have done. You have to see all that I am. And therefore, Father, it would be unjust to take 2 payments for this sin. I've already paid for it. Therefore, I do not ask for mercy, but I demand justice. And that is Christ, our advocate, on our behalf. He's for us, not against us. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.